Hey, welcome to the Mostly Skateboarding podcast. I'm your host, Templeton Elliott, and I'm joined this week by Patrick Higongo and Mike Munzenrider to talk about expanded Skateshop offerings. But first, let's examine Aerosol. There's something in the air. New brands are a dime a dozen, but few come out swinging quite as hard as Aerosol did with their self-titled video from July 15th. Patrick, as a brand introduction, how did Aerosol do?
Okay, first of all, credits up front. I like it. I like it a lot. Second of all, hyper-focused around Australia and more specifically downtowns and cities in Australia or central business districts, as many of the areas that they're filming in are called. God, the spots just look amazing. And also because you know something's good when people will bring it up unprompted in group chats.
Yes. Were you hearing the buzz?
Was hearing the buzz from several different skate group chats across different platforms, not just on text, but also on WhatsApp and also in a couple of Instagram chats as well. Like a couple of people were like, yo, you peeped the Aerosol joint? Like, who is this? This is really good. And it's also the perfect length. We've talked a lot on this pod about what it means to make a statement as a new brand in skateboarding. And this joint clocks in at 14 minutes and 20 seconds. And that's the perfect amount of time. You don't need to be coming through with a 40-minute full length if you're a brand new company and I know nothing about you. Mike, what did you think? Just talking about the buzz before we go deep on the skating, the spot selection, and the lore that is Aerosol.
So there was definitely buzz, and this thing came out a couple weeks ago now, so we're playing catch up a little bit, but there's interviews and everything in the middle. It's really good. It might have gotten overbuzzed for me. So I came in with a ton of expectations, like life altering things. It's pretty good. It's really good. I mean, we're talking about it, and I'm fine with that. Templeton, you were one of the evangelists, though.
I was, yeah. To me, it came out of nowhere and hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, holy shit, this is really good. I've been a fan of Sean Thomas Ryan's since the New Balance Australia video, High Noon. I think that was 2024. He had the last part in that, and I was like, oh, this guy's got it, So was excited to see what he had next, and then I feel like everybody else kind of brought the heat too. So I was hyped, and I've been watching it. I've probably watched it like 10 or 15 times. It's like, every Zoom meeting, I'm queuing this shit up.
God, I want to be your manager.
I get my shit done.
Are you watching the Aerosol video again, Elliot? Yeah. It's all around you is like it's all around you. Is that the subtitle of the video? That's why I'd open it up and then was playing the audio accidentally on the podcast here.
Oh, I thought it was a reference to the Brian Jonestown massacre, or maybe it's a tagline. It reminded me a bit of the early Polar videos. What about y'all?
Just jumping off, like thinking about it right now, almost Blueprint-esque, with the taglines in the video. It's all around you. It's like, oh, like, let's fucking skate. It's all around you.
Yeah. I mean, that's like we thrive on cold winters and shit like that. I like a tagline, inspire yourself to inspire others. Epic Endless Stoke. There's tons of good ones. I'm here for it. I think the vibes were kind of like a mix of Blueprint and Alien, which I think Blueprint like gets a lot from Alien, but kind of did it their own way. So it's like good pedigree, I'd say.
I mean, now I'm sidebarring and going tangent, but like so much of the Blueprint stuff kind of like predated the best Alien stuff, like the photosynthesis ads that really built it up. Unless I'm getting my Blueprint no,
it may not have been
98?
That Blueprint.
No, concurrent. Yeah, sorry.
Concurrent, but also there's no guarantee that the Alien guys saw those videos. I mean, they lived a very, very, very cloistered life out in Ohio. Shout out to Cameron. But also, it was, I don't know, they were probably, you know what it is? It's maybe not copying each other, but feeding off of the same energy. Drawing
I think that's kind of what it is. Feeding off the same energy, kind of same references.
Also, I mean, like Workshop's memory screen, the thing is that video makes more sense to me as a proper adult who's seen a lot of movies and read books and has an idea of not just skate video history, but also history of film. Like, I think for a lot of people, it took a while for that video to really create an impact because unfortunately, after Timecode, they cleaned house. And so I think for a lot of people, their reference point for cool, avant-garde, weird skateboard video was Workshop, to a lesser extent, Toy Machine. Toy Machine was, well, I guess Toy Machine was more absurdist. But anyway, I digress. Similar wavelengths, similar vibes.
Yeah, I think like camera work, editing, and stuff like that. I thought it was great, and I went back and looked at Cameron Fraser's previous video, Arcadia, and that one's got like serious Blueprint vibes. Like the graphics look very Blueprint.
What of the actual video that we're talking about?
Yeah, way to bring it back. Starts out with Corey Young, who I think wasn't really on my radar. Certainly I'd seen his footage before, but he impressed. I like that nollie back heel on flat. That was kind of like heavy on the toes. Does that make sense?
There was a little bit of like not a bump, but like a rise in the pavement on that one. Am I recalling that right?
I don't know. It was like in a plaza, so I feel like it would be pretty flat. But what trick stood out to you, Mike?
I just recalled him as like a good manualer where like you can, I don't know, fakey flip out of everything. He didn't flip out a lot, and I appreciated that.
Yeah, tasteful on two wheels.
Yeah. Yeah, where a lot of times, folks will put a little bit too much sauce on it. Over season. Oh, there goes my dog. Over season their manuals, but he's like, I'm doing this and I'm doing it really well. And he had cool shoes too, painted shoes.
The way that he keeps his foot very much in the pocket on his manuals.
Yeah, some good just foot placement, and yeah, the painted shoes look cool. Makes me want to paint my shoes.
Did y'all ever do that back in the day?
Or like young adult. I also painted those Wear Maxes, the white and red ones, because I can't wear that, and I just ruined them.
Wait. Is there a photo? You gotta share a photo of those shoes.
Maybe I'll try and dig them up if I still have them. But yeah, I fucked it up. Sorry, Ashad.
No, I mean I appreciated his shoes because he painted them and looked cool.
Yeah. So, any other thoughts on Corey Young, Mike?
Clean skater. Going into the middle of the video, I know we had the credits at the opening and we had name titles for the two main parts, but then no titles in the middle. I will never understand editorial choices such as those, but I wish I'd have just known exactly who was who. Because the middle...
the guest skaters, yeah.
Yeah, in the middle, we've got, let me look at my notes here. We got Kazi, who's also handling the art for Aerosol. And then Noah Fuzi, who also is involved in the brand. It really seems like a collective, just like all the guys who ride the boards are in the office doing something. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, also the tray flip over the using the grate as a kicker to go over to do a tray flip over the trash can. I like the little Kalis tribute there, and also, damn, it looked so good. I wish there'd been more angles. I could have watched that 10 times.
Yeah, second angle would have been nice. It's got to be nice to be Kalis, and anytime somebody 360 flips over a trash can off a bump, they think of you instead of the person who did the trick.
Is it? Do you think he thinks about that? Do you think he thinks of us like, damn, I'm him?
He might.
Because there's so much cool shit about Kalis, and like to have that in there, like for any of us, that would be like, that'd be one of those. It's almost like being a local legend worldwide, right? Doesn't it sound like, oh, you remember such and such from high school? It's like, yeah, man, he tray flipped over that trash can. He used the sewer grate as a bump, and everybody talks about it, for years afterwards. Like it's the stuff of lore. Like that's what it feels like with Kalis. Like even though he was at the time one of the biggest pros in the world, probably selling the most boards at that time.
I mean, the tray flip is legendary. And they certainly treat it as such. The story's been told and retold and put on T-shirts and shoe boxes and all kinds of things, all, many, many years after the fact. So
it's wild that he almost did it switch too. Because it's in that, I think it's in that Strobeck Pigeon edit originally where he like doesn't, he gets a, what's the degrees going to be 300 degrees around and breaks the board. That's wild. I
What
would
about,
say,
go on.
I don't want to be controversial, but there is a limit to propping stuff up. Drapes.
Say more.
Okay, so in the early 2000s, especially filming for the local video here, Shitheads Volume 8, when we didn't have any idea of where we wanted to skate, we'd be like, oh, we could build a bump to something. And in that time, it was legal to, we all had like wood and some sheet metal and other shit in the trunks of our cars. And it's like, oh, just build a bump to something. That solves all our problems. Like, many a great propped in this short promo.
So you guys were just driving around town with wood, steel, all sorts of things. There's like a whole Home Depot in your trunk.
No, it didn't take that much. It would be like, oh, I've got a 3x4, very, very off the top of the head dimensions for the sheet of plywood. But then like, oh, I got a handful of bricks. I got a small sign or whatever, a piece of sheet metal, and yeah, you could get a very rudimentary like bump that would then allow you to, I don't know, skate like a metal line loading dock or something like that. It felt like cheating, I guess, is what I think about now. Not that propping up is necessarily a form of cheating, because it is finding it, but when, it's like, when you're a hammer, everything starts looking like a nail type of situation.
So you think there should be a quota? It shouldn't be outlawed?
It shouldn't be outlawed, but like, some of it's just like, yeah, like, why are you fucking up the ground there, man? Come on, chill.
It's one of those like, do we need to all go to Geneva and sign a convention? So like, put together a convention and sign a treaty on, skateboard. Yeah, we should have a skateboard treaty.
I don't think we need to go quite that far. I just think folks need to be thoughtful with their propping.
Okay.
There was a preponderance of props. Propped up grapes,
I hadn't noticed it, but I'm watching it as we're talking, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's a grate. There's another grate. Another grate. Yeah, it's a lot of grates.
No, plank. No, I don't even know what to call it. What's a piece of granite when you prop it up? What's a piece
slab.
of sidewalk? I'm like, dude, is the water going to rush under that now? Yeah, slabs. Like,
slab.
When you propped up that piece of sidewalk to ollie the fence, are you now undermining the sidewalk to the extent that it's going to get washed away? Like, what are the long-term repercussions of your clip?
What's the impact of your clip? Oh, how about this? We don't go to Geneva, Switzerland. We go to Geneva, New York on the Finger Lakes.
I'm down. I like lakes.
A little more affordable for
exactly. And
American-based podcast.
We get all of skateboarding together, and we're going to work on a treaty on legal and illegal tricks and things to do and not do, and it's going to be comprehensive.
Man, and so many non-signatories.
Oh yeah, who's gonna storm around and be like, "Fuck this"?
Everybody.
Everyone, yeah.
What about Sean Thomas Ryan? Shout out to Bespeckled Skaters, by the way, who he reminds me of like a slightly more grown Vince Palmer.
Yeah.
One of the Milano Central kids in the Supreme Baker orbit. Anyway, yeah, he has like a very similar, like lanky, bespeckled, long hair. Like he's grown into it, and it looks cool as shit. And also, if he wasn't doing this, like, couldn't you picture him on 917?
Yeah, I could see it.
Right? Like,
yeah, I mean, for me, Sean Thomas Ryan is like the man of the hour, as I spoke about earlier. Like he was the only one that I was aware of previous to this video. And
there's the background on Sean Thomas Ryan.
Yeah,
he's an interesting character. He only has one eye, lost one in a surfing incident, as stated in a Vague magazine interview. So he's out there doing, spinning frontside blind.
Can I just say that naming the magazine Vague, when it comes into usage like that, sounds very funny.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
He was Habitat Flow for a little bit through distribution, but that didn't, nothing really happened with that, which blows my mind, because if you watch the High Noon part, which we'll link to in the show notes, it's pretty fucking good. Last part in Arcadia, again, banging video part. He's just got it, and I don't know why nobody picked him up, and I'm sure he was scratching his head too. So, he joined in with the rest of his compatriots to start Aerosol, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, sometimes you just gotta, if you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself.
So the question then is, what would he have done on Habitat?
Languished?
Yeah, languished on Habitat is probably right. I don't know. Habitat's like in its corner doing its thing. You know, you're not getting a shoe sponsor writing for Habitat. I recently spoke to someone to that effect.
Are you serious? Like, it's like if they see that on your resume, it's like, nah, you're not even getting a box.
I mean, it wasn't name checked per se, but you know, if you're on Violet, you're doing a much better job of getting an opportunity to have a good shoe sponsor, that type of thing.
Yeah, well, if you think about it, Habitat is not really investing in their new guys. Like, they're not running ads to promote their new guys. Like, do you know who the AMs are on Habitat?
One guy with the crazy name who's I can't come up with it right now.
That doesn't narrow it down. It's skateboarding.
Yeah, there's Alex Labosia, who I only know because he's from Portland, and Jiro Platt.
Jiro
Who
Platt.
lives in New York. And it's like, those guys to me just forever look like they're on flow.
I mean,
Like,
that's
they
why
haven't
Jiro had to
broken
go
through
out
as
there.
like, oh, these guys are AM. They just seem like they're on flow and haven't quite made it yet.
Sean Thomas Ryan. That haircut is insane.
Why? I think it
It's
looks
wild.
cool as shit.
It's just like it's like I mean, it looks cool as shit. Insane does not rule out cool as shit. It's just like I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, okay, first layer, all right, nailed it down. Second layer, all right, think I got it. Wait, there's a third layer? That's the name of this indoor skate park here. But damn, sometimes in some of those clips, there's a third layer of the hair, and it's like his hair is super sick. I have a hot take.
Hit me.
Let's hear it.
Again, this is on the tip of like wishing there were multiple angles of things. The Ollie Impossible he did like off some steps over a rail is the best one since Dylan Reader's. Choose a Dylan Reader, Ollie Impossible. The STR one is in that league. It was insanely good. It was out and up and wrapped, and he only had one in there, and that means that man has some like patience and just like he's waiting for it.
Yeah.
Because God, if I
there's
could do
probably
an Impossible that good, I would be wrapping that shit all over.
Yeah, there's probably some leftover Impossibles that are pretty bonkers.
But yeah,
a
it
tasteful
ranks
guy.
with the Dylan Reader. That was insane. I'm like, how are you not showing me 2 to 3 more angles of that?
Yeah.
Probably got another one, just waiting over something bigger and better. I really like his back 180s. Like his back 180 off a bump over a trash can. Like, it's the long hair that does it. The long hair makes it look cool as shit. Also, doesn't he look like he plays rhythm guitar in the best thrash metal band you've ever heard?
I saw on Slap somebody said he looked like David Koresh, which I thought was pretty cool.
Oh my God. Wow.
Single best thing to come out of the slap boards in half a decade. Losers.
Ouch.
Oh my God. Wow. Like, it's one thing is somebody tells like, oh, you look like a serial killer. It's just like, oh no, you look like a cult leader who got gunned down by the FBI during a raid.
The ATF. It was the ATF.
Excuse me.
God, who's
You
the
are correct.
attorney general? Janet Reno.
You're bringing back like wild SNL memories right now.
No, I'm like Sean Thomas Ryan's haircut versus Janet Reno's haircut.
I don't know. Like, he looks like the meme of like, if the guitarist in the band looks like this, you're gonna die in the pit. Like,
he's definitely got like chaotic guitar vibes energy.
And you're just like, holy shit, what happened to my face? You just got punched 100 times. Anyway, back to the skating. Like, this is, if my favorite formula for a skate video is Tim and Henry's, right? Cameos by the rest of the team that are, nicely packaged in one section, and then 2 main parts. Like, this is an extension of that. Because Tim and Henry's is what, 9 minutes?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, and this is 14. Again, this is ideal for the summertime because, especially this is, being the summer of being outside, this is the kind of video you throw on and you watch it. You actively watch it. Like, was it Tommy from Jenkins was talking about like active and passive viewing and skating. And I think this demands active. I watched it on my laptop first so I could take notes on it. Then I went and watched it again on the proper TV so I could actually really enjoy it because I was like, oh, this is too good to just be like, all right, getting ready for the pod.
Yeah, this one's not homework.
No.
Dang. Actually, yeah, you're right. Some videos feel like homework.
It's tough making a weekly skateboard podcast, guys.
Yeah, unless your
do it.
videos are tight. If your videos are a slog to get through,
Yeah, keep it at 15 minutes and we'll be happy.
Yeah. And that's not like out of like a short attention span theater, but just come on, man. It's summertime, Now if it was like cold, wet, rainy winter, snowy, whatever, it's like, oh, I got time. I'm down to sit down and watch a video. I'm not trying to be, barbecuing or skating or running.
Yeah, that morning Zoom meeting is only 30 minutes, so I can't go too long with the videos.
So hard-hitting question, what's next for Aerosol? I mean, there's a challenge of getting their stuff out here in the States. Tariffs, this, that, and the third. Like, who knows what it's like to actually ship things in bulk anymore? Do you do a pivot to Asia, to borrow some parlance from the second Obama administration?
I've always wondered, like, wouldn't it, for a skateboard company, wouldn't it make sense to just have a local printer make your boards? So you don't have to ship boards. You just, slap your graphics on them. Because it says on the website they're BBS boards. So, like, those come from over here. Or do they? I don't know.
I've given up on understanding, like, the alphabet soup of board name or board manufacturer names.
Yeah,
I get what you're picking up or putting out, Templeton, but like, I don't know, the specificity of shapes. And I know me as a consumer, like, I get the Familia shop boards because they're Generator. maybe that's the name of the wood shop because it's also a different name sometimes. But like, I want that same thing. Were you talking about, or were you talking about like the same boards then printed somewhere, or what were you getting at?
Oh, I was just saying, like, say, mostly skateboarding is going to take on distribution of Aerosol in the United States, and just be like, guys, you don't have to send us any boards. Just give us the specs on the BBS boards that you like, the 825, the whatever, and then we'll slap the graphics on over here so that there's not like, import taxes and all that stuff. And then it's just, we just wire the money back every month. Let's do it quarterly, actually.
Whatever agreement that comes upon it'd be really interesting to see. But like, what's the word? Like, what if your boards come out radically different in different territories? And skateboarders who have the madness.
Yeah.
What if there's some weirdo out there just like, well, actually, the ones from the Australian wood shop are significantly better, so I pay a premium to buy a box just of those blanks.
Yeah, I think those picky riders are few and far between, really.
Do you guys have madness? I'm surprised I've never asked this.
I mean, I think my madness is I just ride the complete that I ride is like all that I'll ride. Like the Gray Eagle, Formula 4 52s, the Thunders. Like, I'm not switching my shit up.
Yeah, I just do the same exact setup every time if I can. I'm not trying out. I don't know. Yeah, it's a Familia board. It's whatever Thunders are the right width, and then the same wheels as Templeton.
Yeah, but I'm always fascinated by the people, like, very similar. Like, we all had friends who could do tricks in Timbs or work boots or whatever. I'm always fascinated by people who can skate any board. Donuts, it's like, let me see that real quick, and boom, they don't think about it. They don't care. They don't think about it. They don't even have like a favorite size. They just like, I just grab whatever. I wish I could be that nonchalant.
I probably could, like, within a certain window, but knowing what I like, I can't be nonchalant. I'm like, I just have to get what I like because I'm just worried that it's going to fuck up my skating.
Yeah, it's I don't know, even wheelbase. I mean, then again, I digress. We could probably have a whole conversation about whether or not wheelbase is actually a thing.
It is. It's real.
It is, but I just don't give a shit.
I've felt it before. I've felt the wheelbase, and it didn't feel good. Well, speaking of buying products, retail is a tough game, and skate shops have it tougher than most. So some are expanding their offerings, carrying goods that appeal to more than just skaters, made by more than just skaters. Mike, how do you feel when you walk into a shop and they've got more than just skate goods for sale?
How do I feel? At one point in my life, I'd have thought it was whack, not Mac or whatever I was going to say. Sorry, I'm trying to read the scripted answer I have. Yeah, I'd have thought it was whack. I was like 22 and skateboarding was in a really great place, and the shops had, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of merchandise on the floor. Nowadays, I want to see a variety of things because I want to like be able to patronize like cool places that sell cool stuff. And in recent days and or weeks, I've seen on Instagram a shop like No Comply out of Austin, Texas. They brought in Nike ACG, like just one shoe, but they're testing the waters. Another shop I saw, I forget which one it was, but they brought in, let's say, like 5 styles of Doc Martens. And I think it's a good way for skate shops to sell stuff that people want to be able to shop in person, while also just like expanding their appeal. I'm 100% in favor of this, staying in business as tactic.
Patrick, what about you? You feeling it when you walk into a skate shop and they've got the Doc Martens in the window?
Skate adjacent shoes can be hit or miss because I don't know what the accounts look like for all those other shoe companies, but stuff that is useful in skate adjacent spaces, like spray cans, like, basically spray paint markers, stuff like that. Graffiti stuff, I think that's cool in a skate shop. Even cooler, brick rub, whatchamacallit, anything
Bondo.
for... Yeah, brick rub, Bondo, anything, any stuff that you would find at a Home Depot that you can use for preparing a curb. Lacquer, like spray-on lacquer. Like being able to go to a shop and be able to grab all that. Shout out to Marriage Skate Shop in Echo Park. Just going to a skate shop and be able to grab that stuff, shoot the shit, and then keep it moving, and also get some stickers. I think that stuff is good. Mike, you just mentioned Nike ACG.
Shaking my head, yes.
All right, that's what I want to see in the skate shop, but I don't want to see the new shit. I want vintage ACG. First of all, because that stuff lasts forever, and it's tough. Also, something I've noticed, who is it? Theories. Theories has a secondhand, at least on their mail order, they have a secondhand operation with selling everything from vintage cameras, old T-shirts, jeans, things like that, and then also skate memorabilia. Brooklyn Projects here in LA does something similar, both in-store and online. I think that's cool. I think, first of all, because these clothes are getting a second or a third life, and also because the way that a lot of that older stuff is cut is so dope. Shit, you could probably just set up a rack of just vintage Carhartt, Dickies, and things like vintage workwear, lightly used, or maybe heavily used. Who cares?
I think the folks want heavily used for the Carhartt jackets.
That's stolen valor. You can
I agree.
Right?
I agree. But yeah, I think vintage clothing in a skate shop makes a ton of sense because I think that you can, skaters are into vintage, and then they're going to tell their friends who don't skate, like, oh yeah, I got this at the skate shop. Like you should go down there and get yourself a beat up Carhartt jacket to wear to the office.
What about those instances where, because this is something I've seen over the years of, over 25 years of secondhand, consignment, thrifting, whatever, is that sometimes in boutiques, somebody will come in and they say, hey, I got a bunch of stuff. Can I try and sell it on consignment? Do skate shops want that energy? Because oftentimes I see people who are doing stuff DIY. It's like, it's hit or miss. Either their stuff is dope as shit and you're just like, yo, let me get all of those. Or it's just like, what sane person is trying to buy this awful Garfield t-shirt that you're selling?
I think that just comes down to the buyer. They got to know their market and know who's coming in the store and what they want.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of skate shops are hyper staffed to, I don't know, have the time to do all that. So, I mean, dope vintage is dope vintage. And I'm sure there's ways to get like dope vintage, even dead stock skate stuff more than we think. But you were saying, Patrick.
Well, that stuff has become, at least on eBay, that stuff has become wildly overpriced. And considering the fact that we are in a materials crisis, a fuel crisis, we're barreling towards stagflation here in the US. Who's got the money for that? And I think, Jenkem touched upon this in an article about what's happening at European skate shops. And these are hard times. We are not where we were 6 years ago where, that stimulus money coming in. And even though the world was ending with COVID and the nation was on fire, I'll be like, I'm going to buy everything from the skate shop. We were all stocking up at the time. Right now everybody's been tightening their belts and it's been challenging. It's visible, and skate shops are shutting down. Skate shops that have served communities for decades in some instances are closing, and it's devastating. But then also, we're all tightening our belts too. I mean, diversifying might be the only thing you can do for survival.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of why I don't know. This came up as a thing where I saw shops bringing in non-endemic brands, quote unquote core skate shops bringing in these brands, and I think that, and maybe I'm rehashing what I said at the top, but if I can go get cool non-skate shit that at a shop that I like and be able to support the shop, I think it's something that people should look into. And yeah, like I want to be able to buy some Gramici pants at at Familia. Damn it, Dennis, do you ever listen to this podcast? I don't know.
Yeah, make it happen, Dennis. I was in that same Jenkum article. I noticed that Lobby Skate Shop in Hamburg brought in, or was it Lobby? No, Civilist in Berlin brought in Gramici. So you can go to Berlin to get some Gramicis at a skate shop, Mike.
Well, and Familia is selling Civilist shop merch in Minneapolis. So I guess, and then it's all dovetailing.
Okay, hard-hitting question. Is it okay for a skate shop to sell stuff for the over 18 or over 21 crowd? Like, for example, liquor store, skate shop. Good idea, bad idea. Should you sell Lucy's at the skate shop?
Oh, man.
I mean, I would say that we're trying to promote a more health positive environment in skateboarding now.
Yeah,
so
but
I'd probably lean
back.
towards no, even though I'm like, damn, a Lucy, like if I could buy like 2 cigarettes every 2 weeks, that'd be amazing. Don't tell my wife.
If Familia started selling Lucy's, Mike would be there buying.
I mean, 100%. I'm hanging out anyways. I'm kicking it anyways.
Right. I might as well get it.
Saturday night.
And I guess at least in this country, yeah, there is a question of like, hey, there's licensing issues around, like, if you are going to be selling alcohol, you can't be under 21. Skate shops, yeah, we're all grown folks, but we all started going to skate shops when we were kids, and it should be a kid-friendly environment. That being said, tough times call for tough decisions. So if there's any skate shops out there that decide that they want to start offering a Newport 100 with every sheet of grip tape, I will understand. I won't.
Cigarette.
I will not condone it, but I will understand it. But it's like I imagine. I mean, speaking seriously about it, there's been skate weed crossovers, but marijuana is not illegal across all 50 states, and certainly not legal for recreation purposes. And like, I guess, yeah, maybe that's beyond, like, that discussion is beyond the pale. But also, like, we're talking about people's livelihoods here, right? Well, I mean,
you brought up earlier kind of the graph connections and, Phobia, which was the main shop here for it's funny. I'm like, oh, it was the main shop here forever. They were open for like 10 years, 20 years ago. But, they had graffiti shit and kind of like, hip hop adjacent stuff, and they sold skateboards. And I don't think it would be a bad thing to kind of go back to that. I think it's a very, I don't know, 90s model doesn't quite fit, because that was kind of the heyday of skate shops. But like, you don't have to, like, the core skate shop thing isn't a viable business model anymore. You can't just, like, you're not gonna, I don't know, like Cowtown in Tempe, where we've all been, where they've got like 1,000 boards on the wall. That's the outlier. And now you're like, that's a skate shop ass skate shop. Now you might have to, sell things that differentiate from that core label. But I think it'd be cool to, I don't know, be able to pick up that graph stuff or some non-skate clothing that really works well for skating, or I don't know, sell posters or something. I was just in a record store and I was like, this place is cool. It was like a Remnant, Cheapo Records in Little Canada, Minnesota. You were saying, Templeton.
Oh yeah, I think like with the graph stuff, it's like graffiti is a counterculture that couldn't really support its own shop. So that's a great opportunity to, bring that in and have a little corner of your shop dedicated to, fat caps and spray cans and whatnot. So I think it makes sense to bring in those kind of smaller communities that are kind of skate adjacent and probably not represented in whatever town. So just be like a catch-all of all the, alternative subcultures.
Familia is premiering a parkour video because there's like some skateheads involved in it, or like, you know, there are kids that skate and there's clips from the Twin Cities and they're doing that. And it's like, all right, well, like, you know, parkour people wear clothes to offer some shit that might be good for jumping off a bridge. Just a thought.
Mike, your mention of posters earlier got me thinking about an essay that I'm going to try and dig it up and hopefully can include in the show notes. But there's a general feeling now that so many young people don't decorate their rooms like we did when we were kids, where it's just like filled with stuff. Like everybody, like it's like these very beige childhoods. Everything has to be just so, instead of just like a wall of skate posters, music, you know, your crushes, whoever, and everything is perfect. It's like you're like, oh, my child's room has to look like something out of Architectural Digest. Like, Mike, is Izzy's room just covered in cool stuff?
She's got a shitload of stuff in there for sure. The walls are vastly uncovered, though we're gonna work on that. Like I said, we were at Cheapo and she wanted some posters. And it's her birthday coming up, so I had to tone down my impulses just to, you know, posters aren't that expensive. Here's some anime posters.
Dude,
you think they look cool? Let's put them up. Yeah.
And I actually wish more skate shops sold posters. I think that'd be cool.
Well, it's just like it's little like tchotchkes. Sell random bullshit that kids can come in with, like, you know, now the right bill to have is a 20, but sell stuff where they can walk out with 3 things. And I don't know. I mean, we're talking like modern day skateboard economists. I don't know what the actual, you know, on the ground conditions are, but like you go into these boutique skate shops and it's been a movement now for like 15 plus years, going on 20, let's say. Like, why would that place appeal to you as a kid? And I don't know. This goes back to like the what's the matter with skateboarding question. But, you know, it could be a lot more fun. I want a more fun skate shop. I want to go in and be like, oh, weird, I can buy this here, like underline the this, and then like fill in the blanks with whatever it is. I just want to be surprised. And I mean, we know skaters are cool, so curate some cool shit.
Yeah. And it's also a great way to, you know, for example, if you're a shop owner and you've gotten a bunch of random weird free stuff, man, like you guys have both worked in skate shops. I didn't, but, you know, being friends with people who did, like, you know, every now and then you get something really strange, a promo poster, those huge silk screen flags that they used to put up, or banners for each of each of the companies. You know, sometimes they'll show up. I remember seeing somebody selling a World Industries, early 90s World Industries shop banner for something like $500, which is excessive. I'm sure I could get one made for a fraction of the price in downtown LA, but it wouldn't be authentic. But stuff like that, like, yo, just like maybe once a month, just go through and get like weird promo stuff and just clear that out, man.
Yeah, clear out the back rooms. There's money, there's gold in the back rooms. But that's all skate related. I think, yeah, just bring in some interesting crap. I mean, in Portland, there's so many stores that just sell random stuff, and they seem to be doing well. So if you got a good location and got that foot traffic, you could probably bring in a bunch more people if you offer some random shit that appeals to maybe like a broad audience or whatever.
I'd buy some incense.
Yo, yeah, stuff like, actually, yeah, like maybe it's like the stuff that's like what used to be in a head shop and now would just be sold in the smoke shop.
Yeah.
Incense, what else? Sage.
All this to say, I think retail is still just a really tough world, and I'm not going to begrudge any shop for bringing in whatever they need to bring in to keep the lights on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just, again, I just said 2 minutes ago, like, damn, skaters can do some really cool stuff with skate stuff and then think outside the box and what could happen. Like the homie, excuse me, Wes, aka Sportman Toe. Yeah, that's how we're going to say it. On Twitter, he runs Understory. He owns Understory out of Oakland, which is like a outdoors shop, but, you know, he's sells that like crazy upscale, aka expensive hiking gear, but it's dope. And like he's curated this super cool shop that I'm always looking at and being like, damn, that shit's cool. And he's a skater, and he, you know, probably was too smart about it to do a skate shop, but I know we have smart skate shop people. I don't know. I I think this whole topic is just like I saw those other shops bringing in new stuff, and I'm like, dang, there's a lot of opportunity out there to just like diversify this whole thing. I don't know, because like what what is core anymore? Nothing's core anymore. Is there any core?
Well, yeah.
Like,
I
does it
think,
matter to be core?
I think when it comes to making money, nothing's core anymore. You just gotta
nobody
hustle.
Nobody cares
money.
about selling out. I mean, we're the hardest core of all. No sponsors. We're doing this shit for the love.
Yeah, but also, we also still work full-time jobs, which means like we have accepted that is part of the game, and that in itself is a bit of selling out. But you know what? We got to pay bills, man. It's like, yeah, well, I think you can't divorce this conversation from the current socioeconomic realm that we are living in right now. It's like shit is hard. We may never see a time of mindless consumerism like the mid to late 1990s ever again.
Yeah, I mean, pre-crash 2000s too, when it comes to skateboarding,
Oh my God.
Pre-2008 skateboarding was insane. I think I think that a lot of shop mentality is still stuck there, where it's like, we will sell skateboard stuff and we'll be fine. And it's like, probably not.
It's difficult. Yeah. Like, and like the early 2000s, when you talk to people about that era, I mean, it wasn't just that there was money, there was money.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the skate shop narrative has always been, we're barely making it. But maybe that was different in 2006 or whatever.
Yeah, I think, 2006, you were starting to see, 7 is when the U.S. economy officially went into recession, 8 being the crash, which several people in the industry just likened to, just turning a tap right off. But I'd say, the era where, people were making boku dollars just selling boards. My goodness. And skateboarding was, we were kind of having the cultural truce with skateboarding. The jocks didn't hate us as much anymore. And, it was like, what a time to be alive. And just our new reality now is going to be one that's going to be a little bit more of scarcity. And also, but these conversations have to happen. We can't just keep posting up and pretending like shit isn't hard anymore, because it is.
It is indeed. So consult your advisors at Wu-Tang Financial and diversify your bonds.
You need to diversify your bonds, nigga.
Wow. And the podcast is over.
That was too cold, Templeton. You nailed it. But yes, diversify your bonds and diversify the products that you are selling in your skate shop. Oh, books. Get these kids reading. Jesus Lord, get these kids reading. Get some cool ass books in your store. Get some banned books in the skate shop. What could be better?
I'd be stoked on some banned books at the skate shop. Which brings us to the part of our show where we talk about what we're stoked on. Patrick, what are you stoked on this week?
Oh man, I am stoked on Spitfire Wheels. I am stoked on the song Minneapolis by a group called That Dog. Very catchy, very 90s. It used to annoy the hell out of me. And then I heard it a bunch this weekend. I said, oh, okay, this is actually pretty good. I'm about 3/4 of the way through a book called Us Versus Them. It's The Age of Indie Music and a Decade in New York, 2004 to 2014 by Ronan Givoni. It's about that era in New York, 04 to 2014, peak times, Death by Audio, Glasslands, 285 Kent, Silent Barn, all those legendary venues and DIY crews and everything like that made it seem like, you were invincible when you were young. And I've been reminiscing and thinking back a lot about that particular period of my life. And it's interesting to see it reflected back to me in book form, not just in this, but in other books. Maybe somebody will do something similar about skateboarding. Mike, what are you stoked on this week?
I am stoked on last week now. My buddy Vinny found me a park bike stand on Facebook Marketplace the day after we were talking at the skate shop, Familia, about how we were talking bikes and about how I regretted getting a secondhand bike stand to work on my bikes with. Yeah, he hit me up and within an hour he hand delivered it. We exchanged some cash and that was great. Thanks for delivering it, man. Also stoked on, we got an outdoor couch. Let me tell you, that has changed the relationship with our backyard. Go sit there. The dog understands. Oh, this is a couch, but it's outside. He loves it. And then I skated the curb. It's kind of like a legal DIY Minneapolis. I guess it's a skate park, but it doesn't feel like it in a good way. Which is at Bidet Makaska, the former Lake Calhoun in Minneapolis. It's just like a parking lot spot. Hit that last Saturday with all the slappy dogs and all their rails and their weird shaped boards. I don't know, man. I don't think we need to call it a popsicle. It's just a skateboard. The popsicle is normal. Everything else is called a different name. But that's just my opinion, bro. Templeton, what are you stoked on this week?
I agree. I think the popsicle is the default skateboard, so it doesn't need a qualifier.
It's a skateboard, or you can have a football, or you can have an egg, but it's not a popsicle. It's a skateboard.
Yeah. Other than that, I am stoked on Adjacent. It's kind of like Slow Impact 2.0 in the Northwest. I'm lucky enough that it's in Portland, so I can just sleep in my own bed at night after the events. Super good time. It's nice to kind of get a double dose of skateboard nerdery this year. As part of that, there was skate trivia, and my team tied with the deluxe team for second place. And we had a shootout, a cornhole shootout. And I was nominated from my team to be the shooter-outer. And I totally missed my first shot and then swish the second shot to seal the deal and bring my team to second place. And the whole crowd erupted. It was an amazing feeling. So that got me extremely stoked.
I didn't know you were nice like that. You were good at cornhole?
I was that night. It was epic. That's it for our show this week. Be sure to check out mostlyskateboarding.net for links to things that we talked about and other show notes. Until next time, you can keep up with us all week online. Mike, where can the people find you?
I'm doing Instagram and Twitter at @MMunzenrider. Patrick, where can the people find you?
You can find me posted up on Instagram under the handle @PKigongo. Templeton, where can the people find you on Bobby Digital's internets?
You can find me on Instagram @MostlySkateboarding, and you can find the show on YouTube @MostlySkateboarding. We will see you guys next week.
Peace.